And also today, another important day, because the Chancellor, Sajid Javid, will announce an additional £2 billion, he says, of Brexit funding for Whitehall when he sets out next year's public spending plans later. Sean's on the sofa with us. Sean, normally when you and I are talking about the spending review day, it's massive, isn't it? And given the backdrop of everything going on, it's unusual that it's so far down the news agenda, isn't it?
Well, yeah, so there are many reasons why that's the case, because of what's going on in Westminster, but also it's pretty controversial what Sajid Javid and Boris Johnson are doing with these spending plans today, because normally it'd be a big set piece alongside lots of predictions and forecasts about how the British economy was going to be doing, and we'd have a 3-year spending plan so that departments would know where the Chancellor is allocating his money for the next 3 years. And of course, if you've got that length of time, you can plan a bit more. But what the government is doing is we're only going to hear their plans, their promises for the next year. And of course, we're in uncertain times anyway, so a lot of question marks over whether those will actually come to fruition in the months to come. So Sajid Javid today will say where he thinks those certain departments should be spending money and how much money they'll get. But when you look at where that money is being spent, there's some criticism. So the Institute for Government, which is this think tank that's politically neutral but pretty influential, it advises researchers on how government can work more efficiently. It's looked at this and looked at where it thinks some departments most need the money and where it looks likely the government will put the money, and it doesn't think that the priorities are in the right place.
Yeah.
The hospitals, the schools and the police can clearly help address some of the big performance pressures, whether that be declining teacher recruitment rates, the growing backlog in hospitals, or the increasing amount of time it takes to charge an offence in the police. But really, it's adult social care and prisons that have seen the largest decline in performance. And as this government has already said it's committed to ending austerity, we think it's these services that should be first in line if the spending taps are turned back on.
So there is some criticism, as ever, I guess, about where the money's been allocated, but there's also criticism about the government actually using this unusual 1-year short-term spending as a tool for any potential election that may be on the way, where they can put forward where they want to be spending money, perhaps focusing, as we heard from the Institute for Government, on vote-winning policies rather than departments that need the money most.